Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Axe Judgment Day, written by Kieran Gillen. Now, I thought this crossover was going to be a dumpster fire because the basic premise is like Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals. But this story was pretty cool, even though there's a lot of stuff with the Eternals that I just don't know what was the deal with them, what had happened prior to the lead up to the story. I had started reading their new run, written by Gillen, where they had like retconned their origins. Their immortality comes with a cost. Every time they're resurrected, a human must die. But after that first story arc, Marvel Editorial, at least in my country here in Argentina, did not put out any more issues. So today we're going to cover Axe, Eve of Judgment, and the Free Comic Book Day tie-in to this crossover. That both issues revolve around the Eternals. So without further ado, let's get into this. So the first issue actually starts off with Odin during the era of the 1 million BC Avengers. He has been called upon by Druig because he wants to show him the situation. So Odin arrives, he's there with Druig, and also we have Uranos, who would be his grandfather, and he's Thanos' great uncle. The guy is insanely powerful, and he's so dangerous that the Eternals had put him away. He's like the forgotten one. It feels that Uranos was like the reset button that the Celestials had. If they needed to wipe the slate clean, they just would call on him. But the thing is that I know next to nothing about this character because Marvel Editorial canceled the Eternals here in my country. So the thing is that Druig tells Odin, look, we found these monkeys that seem to have telepathic powers and they have the ability to create this hive mind. So what happens is Druig and Uranos tell Odin, look, we're going to have to wipe these monkeys off the face of the earth because they are a deviation of evolution and that's sort of their prerogative. And we actually get this awesome flex from Uranos where he tells Odin, look, we just told you to give you a heads up. Is this going to be a problem with your Avengers? And Odin's like, nope, we're going to steer clear of this. Then we cut to the modern day where we have the Avengers fighting against this giant kaiju type of monster. And we discover that it's a deviant, and the thing is that Icarus and Circe arrive on the scene. Now, it's not explained in the story, but something went wrong with this deviant, and he had like this insane mutation. That's why he grew to this kaiju size. The thing is that when there's this excess of deviation, this automatically sets the Eternals into a frenzy. Basically, they go into autopilot and full-on kill mode. So the thing is that Icarus and Circe kill this deviant in 2 seconds flat. They show zero mercy to the point that Captain America is sort of taken aback by this. And Circe's like, look, that's our nature. Like, when there's an excess of deviation, we just act. We don't even think. Now, one thing that I forgot to establish is that during this time, Druig, like the most evil of all the Eternals, the one that we mentioned earlier, is the leader of the Eternals. He's the Eternal Prime. And the guy has a real axe to grind with Marvel's mutants. He has discovered the existence of Krakoa thanks to Moira X, and that the mutants there are able to resurrect themselves just like the Eternals. Also, to add on top of this, I remember way back in the second Eternals run, the one that Neil Gaiman started, the X-Men had teamed up with Icarus to stop Druig and his evil plans during that time. So the thing is that he views everything going down with the mutants as a excess deviation. He also views that removing all of Marvel's mutants as a way to consolidate his own power, as a show of strength to his fellow Eternals. So he actually wants to do it super quick and simple, and he goes to another one of like the super science Eternals, and they create a antimatter bomb. Basically, they're going to put it under Krakoa and disintegrate the whole place. The thing is that when they try to do this, they can't go through with it because it goes up against one of their prime directives. because they have like 3 main rules: protect humanity, stop any excess deviation, and protect the machine, which would be Mother Earth. Which is pretty cool in the story. The machine, Earth itself, is the narrator to the story. And the thing is that if they try to destroy Krakoa, it's tied to the machine itself. So therefore they can't go through with the act. Oh, and another thing about Druig, like, he's a villain, and no surprise, he's going full genocide with the mutants and stuff like that. But this isn't a new thing with the Eternals. Like, prior to this, and I think it was like the 3rd New Warriors run, Zurus tried to do the same thing by working with the High Evolutionary. And just in case for those who don't know, he was the previous Prime Eternal. So what happens with Druig, now his hands are tied. So what happens with Druig, since he can't use this bomb, he has to go old school genocide. He goes straight to his uncle Uranus, who is in the Exclusion, which is like this eternal prison. So we get a setup of what's going to go down. Also, one interesting thing that happens in this issue is it is shown that Ajax and Makari, prior to this, had kidnapped Mr. Sinister. And that's some really cool connectivity, because there was a story arc where Mr. Sinister actually had hijacked the Sleeping Celestial and created like the Sinister City using its powers, and we had the Extinction Squad X-Men deal with that. The thing is that the Eternals remember this and really want to make Mr. Sinister pay for it. So we're going to leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.